parallel structure and balanced sentences. Balance in compound sentences, verbs, adjectives, nouns, preposition, phrases, clauses should be parallel. Things that come in a particular sequence in the first part of the sentence should be in that same sequence in the second part of the sentence as well. This will look grammatically balanced and symmetrical sentence. These type of sentences can be joined with coordinating conjunctions and or as well as with commas. The use of commas for compound sentences has been explained to you by Zara as well. Okay, let's take a look at these examples. For example, when we're talking about active verbs, when we are using the active form of the verb, he is overweight, lacks exercise, and smokes regularly. As we are using the singular form of is here, we're not using are. So we have to use the singular form here as well. For a singular person, we have to use the S form, so we are using the S form. Then passive verbs. IV fluids were commenced and a transdermal patch was applied. So these become parallel, but comes before commence the ed form of the verb. Noun and noun phrases. He is worried about his condition because of, sorry, the B is missing here, because of his increased weight, lack of exercise, and his habit of smoking. These are all noun phrases. So they come in a line and we have made a balanced sentence here. Gerunds. He is advised to be cautious while driving a car, operating a machinery, and performing hazardous activities. The ing form should be used like this in a straight, well-balanced form. Prepositions. Threadworms are detectable at surface of feces or around NS at night. Verbs in conclusion part. So the last part, the conclusion part, we usually write this way. I am worried about Miss Jones. Sorry, J is missing here. And would appreciate your urgent assessment and treatment. I hope that you all have a pretty good idea what a balanced sentence looks like. Okay, relative clauses. So relative clauses the use of relative clauses is very important, especially in the introductory part of the OET letter, because it allows us to write large information in clear and concise manner. It is a part of the sentence which provides information about the patient. It can be defining or it can be non-defining. What is the difference between these two? Defining clause provides detail about a noun being referred to, and usually in this commas are not required but can be used depending upon the situation. And in the non-defining clause, it provides extra information about the noun but does not define it. The sentence can be completed without it. So for example, if for a defining clause, I am writing to refer this patient who is due to be discharged today. Now, if we stop the sentence here and put a full stop here, this patient, this becomes very vague. We do not know who we are talking about. So this becomes, the last part becomes the defining clause. So we do not have to use the comma here. Then there is another example. I'm writing to refer Mrs. Patterson, a 36-year-old married woman who is suffering from mild depression. Now, there's a simple rule about whether to put a comma in a clause or not. It's just memorize it this way. These are just grammatical rules. If there is no name, don't put any comma there. If there is a name, put a comma after it in a relative clause. For example, the doctor who performed the operation is from Iraq. As there was no specific name mentioned, you do not have to put the comma here. But if you are using a specific name like Dr. Yusuf, who is from Iraq, performed the operation, you have to put the comma. Okay, so examples of the non-defining clause are, I am writing to refer Mrs. Jones, 52-year-old widow, for ongoing physiotherapy. As if we remove this 52-year-old widow, we can complete the sentence with just this. I'm writing to refer Mrs. Jones for ongoing physiotherapy. This becomes a non-defining clause as we can complete the sentence without it. So we have to use the commas before this information, before and after this information. Another example is Mrs. Peterson, a 36-year-old married woman, is suffering from mild depression. Okay. So some examples of the relative clauses is, okay, so this is a clause of purpose. Although her, relative clause, examples of some relative clauses. Although her condition has improved, comma, she is still very weak. Her condition has improved, comma, but she is still very weak. Some examples of the clause of purpose. In order to reduce weight, this is the purpose, a low-fat diet has been recommended. A low-fat diet has been recommended in order to lose weight. These two sentences, take a very good look at these two because I'm going to tell you a little tip about the comma placement. A comma is required when a subordinate clause comes before the independent clause. Okay, so a comma is required when a subordinate clause comes before the independent clause. This is the independent clause because this can be used as a sentence in itself. A low-fat diet has been recommended. Nothing before, nothing after. This can be used as a simple sentence. But as this is the subordinate clause and it comes before the independent clause, we have to put the comma here. But take a look at this example. The subordinate clause has been put here, and the independent clause is used in the start. A low-fat diet has been recommended in order to lose weight. So we do not have to use the comma here. I hope that this is clear, the use of comma placement in relative clauses. Okay. So next step is clause of time. And this has been used, this is used again and again in our OET letters because there's always mentioning of visits and some hospital visit, hospitalization, or review. So these are used again and again. So this is how you correctly use them. You have to use the comma after any clause of time you use. For example, take a look at this. During hospitalization, comma, the patient had surgery to remove a suspicious lesion on his limb. Again, for this, a tip about comma placement is that a comma is required when a time clause comes before the independent clause. For example, here, on review after 3 months, she had made good progress with her weight reduction. As this is the independent clause and the time clause comes before it, we have to put the comma after it. But if we reverse this sentence, she had made good progress with her weight reduction on review after 3 months. Then we do not have to put the comma after this sentence, after this part of the sentence. Okay. So next up is referring to the patient. So I think this is very important to understand because I didn't know some of these. For example, the use of Ms. and Miss. These are quite different. Mr., we all know it is used for adult men, whether they are married or not. Then there is Mrs. It is used for married women, including widows. If there is a word widow, we have to use the word Mrs. Then there is the word Miss. It's called Miss, and this is called Miss. Ms. is used for adult women when marital status is not stated in the notes and it is not clear. We do not know if that adult woman is married or not. So we use the title Miss. Miss is used for young girls or unmarried adult women. And then the master. Master is no longer used. It was usually used for young boys, but is old-fashioned now and is not usually used. So always use the titles with the second names. For example, if someone's name is Mr. John Smith, so we have to use the title with the second name, Mr. Smith. We can never use a title with the first name. If we have to use the first name, just use the first name separately without title. Next up is formal and casual expressions. I have posted a little more examples of these in the form of sentences in the OET writing WhatsApp group that we have made. Take a look at that to get a better idea how to use or convert some casual expressions into formal expressions. For example, just take a look at these two or three. Ask for a request. I'm writing to ask for urgent assessment of a patient. So we have to use I'm writing to request an urgent assessment of a patient. Say should be used as stated. Like should be used as such as. So just take a look at these and also the ones that I have posted in the WhatsApp group as well. The kid should be replaced with child, and thanks should be replaced with thank you. Okay, so this is the end of our today's session. I hope that up till now, with these 3 sessions of writing, you have learned everything about writing, and please send us letters to get corrected. I hope that the ones that we have sent back with the corrections have helped you a lot. So if you have any questions, you can post in the WhatsApp group as well. Okay, so Allah Hafiz, take care. So we are going to be conducting another session with writing, listening, and speaking as well. And we will soon, inshallah, conduct some one-on-one speaking sessions as well if anyone is interested.